Welcome back, everybody. Batman Collector here, and today, finally, after a year of waiting, I just got in my Arkham Knight Batman hot toy. This was announced early January, like the first week of January. Pre-ordered it immediately. Just got here today. It was actually released in Hong Kong October 23rd, and I'm getting it today, which is December 6th. So, all right, let's get into this thing. Alright, so just pulled it out, and the first thing I want to talk about a little bit is the box. This area here is actually kind of a grainy texture, and this over here is just smooth. Got the Arkham logo. I'm not sure why they went with this. Oh, this is also textured. Not sure why they went with this cartoony logo, but whatever, not a big deal. And here is the actual figure itself. This is the backing, which actually, I've heard people say this isn't very big, but it's actually wider than I expected it to be. I should probably measure this. There's that. I'm excited about that. I really like that they're doing this. It's really cool. And there's the figure. It was actually a lot larger than I expected him to be. Alright, so I just pulled off some of the plastic things, which were surprisingly easy on this one. Sometimes you really got to fight with these to get it off, but the plastic sleeves came right off. And my first impression is just, wow. You can see how much detail they put into the suit. Really cool. The face, especially the eyes. Really cool. Over here, these are all the accessories, which is a lot more, even than the Arkham City version, which came with quite a few. But this is cool. These unfortunately can't be posed; they're just little wires, but still a cool addition. You know, they didn't have. I don't even think that was something they talked about when this first came out, but they put it in there anyway. But you got your ice grenade. This is the voice changer. What you call this? The explosive gel. Really cool. Alright, so this is the base, and that's the decal. It's not really a decal, it might be, but it's the same textured material that is on the side of the box. But that's kind of the picture that's on there. It's not quite as wide as your typical deluxe base. This one is about 3.5 inches wide there. But, whatever, it'll do the trick. Alright, so let's get him on there and see what it looks like. Okay. So I just got him on the stand here, and the first thing that I noticed is that, which I thought was strange, is that there's actually no wire here in the outer edge of the cape right here. There's no wire here. And I was like, surely there's a wire. And it's actually, the first one I found is right here, and it actually feels quite thick. So you can do stuff with it. But I just find it strange I didn't put it here. Not that that's really a complaint. It's not that big of a deal, but just something to note. Otherwise, the paint job on this is really, really impressive. It's going to be hard to probably tell with that flash on, but yeah. Let's see if I can get in here a little better in focus. The details in the eyes and the face are really quite impressive. Flip this around. The cape was pretty tightly wrapped in the box. Really nice cape though. Really nice. This is probably, as far as Hot Toys goes, this might be one of the nicest capes they've ever done. And I have quite a few Batmans. This is some better quality of capes than we've seen from some of the other pieces for sure. But man, I gotta say, he is really large too. I'm gonna have to get the measuring tape out and see how big that actually is. So realistically, he stands at about, what? A little over 14 inches? Almost, about 14.5 inches tall. That's big. Like, for one of these things, that's pretty big. I have heard a lot of complaints, though, about the articulation on this. And I will say, yeah, right there, that's about as far out as that arm is going. And from the pictures, I really thought he was going to be able to go all the way out, you know, where you could make it look like he was gliding or something, but Probably not. That's about as good as you're gonna get. This is pretty much a museum pose type of a figure here, unfortunately. But for me, honestly, it's not a big deal. All of mine, for the most part, are in museum poses, except for the Arkham City one up there, I guess. And even that one doesn't have great posability either, now that I think about it. But I mean, just the look of this, the detail on the paint, I'm not disappointed at all. This thing's awesome. Really cool. But let me try to get some more poses, see what I can do with this thing. Alright, so this took me a little bit longer to figure out than it probably should have, and it does come with directions, but the directions don't actually tell you how to put together the stand. And I thought this was supposed to be lay flat, but it's not. It's supposed to stand up like that, which makes sense because otherwise it would be way too short. But you just put them in like this, I guess. They stand up like that. And you won't see this anyway because he'll be standing in front of it, so whatever. But okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. He does take up a lot of that, but it's still cool. And I'm really glad they're doing this because this is actually a lot thicker and a lot better quality than I thought it would be. And it's going to look great in the case. So, yeah, happy with that. Alright, so I've been messing with this thing a little bit, and I gotta tell you, the articulation on the legs is pretty bad. Like, for anybody who thinks that the Arkham City articulation is bad, which it's not great, but that one has a lot better leg articulation. And this one, I mean, he is so stiff. You can't even get him into, like, one of these poses, like him, you can see, I pretty much got him into that pose pretty decently, and he looks pretty good. Yeah, I can't even do that with this without really stressing these pants, which are unusually glittery. Like, they're not quite as shiny as this in the game. I have the game up here for reference just to check. And I don't know why they went with this shiny sheen. Again, not a big deal, but just something I wanted to point out. The boots look fantastic. Really cool. I'm noticing in some areas, like here, they put in some, like, some scuffing, some battle damage. I've noticed it here in some areas on the cowl. You can see some right there. It's a little scuffed. But regardless, this is a very impressive figure. It's going to take me a while to find a good pose for this. I might even just go with the old museum pose, but whatever. Here is the little Barbara Gordon thing that goes on his gauntlet. I'm going to play with that and see if I can figure out how to get that on there. Okay, so I've checked the instructions, and there's actually a little notch. You can probably see it right there on both arms. Not just the one, but both of them. Where you can put the Barbara Gordon plate in there if you really want to. I've heard that it's quite difficult to get back out, so I'm not sure I want to mess with that. But, yeah, really cool. I kind of do, the more I mess with this, the more I do kind of wish that there were some wires here on the outside. Because otherwise, the poses that you can really get with the cape are pretty limited. So I gotta say, as far as articulation goes, this is not, like, this is a bit rough. But, with Batman, you can kind of get away with that. Because he's a pretty stoic character anyway. But just something to point out for anybody who really wants good articulation, you're not going to get it here. But as far as overall quality and just coolness, it's here. This is really cool. This is the other plate. I'm really struggling to get this off. I see it also comes with this, so apparently it has like the eye roll function, or whatever that's actually called. You just pop out the faceplate here, and you can adjust his eyes, which is really cool. It's kind of a deluxe feature there. The Arkham City does not have that. So this is a cool figure, guys. Like, this is my first Hot Toys video, so excuse the crudeness of this, but I'm just kind of giving you my thoughts, my fresh thoughts of this. And I'm not disappointed. I don't want you guys to think I'm disappointed because of the articulation or anything. This is cool. I've been waiting forever for this. Arkham Joker is supposed to be coming out hopefully anytime in Hong Kong. Probably won't see him until January, February at the earliest, but I'm really excited they're doing this. Really excited. I hope they keep the run going. I also have Red Hood on order. Didn't get the black Beyond variant, weird one. I'm not really interested in that, but I just want to get the word out there. You know, I know there's a lot of people who love Arkham, and especially me, and I'll buy just about anything Arkham that they come up with, except for those weird repaint variants. But Catwoman, Harley, hope they keep these things coming, because this is super cool. Alright, so I just got this in. It took me a while. Like I said, you can put it into either arm, but that's how it goes in. There's a little clip piece that goes in, that fits inside of there. You know, and I really wasn't planning on using this, but I think I might. Because of the lack of articulation in this particular piece, I might actually go with this pose. Because honestly, there's not much else you can do with it without him just looking kind of, you know, stoic and museum piece-like. So, alright, I'm going to put him in his case and see what he looks like. Okay, so I didn't expect this, but unless I'm doing something wrong, which is possible, and if I am, please let me know, anybody who has this. But this does not fit. It literally doesn't even fit in your typical Detolf shelf. It's actually too tall. That is crazy. I mean, I guess you could, you know, kind of sneak it underneath the glass there, but otherwise, it stands too tall to go into your typical Detolf shelf, so that's kind of a bummer. Alright, so I have to do some drastic measures here. I'm cutting off the bottom just to see if I can get it to fit in the case. So we'll see how that turns out. I know it's blasphemous to cut these things up, but I really want to use this background. It's really nice. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I got it to kind of work. It's a little uneven. You might be able to tell on the top, so I might have to work it a little bit, but I had to cut off quite a bit of the bottom to get that to fit in there. So I'll put him in there and we'll see how it looks. Alright, so there he is. It's about as good as it's going to get for now. Really, really happy with this. Love it. Can't wait to get Joker. But for now, I'm just going to have to deal with these two. I've decided to make this entire Detolf Arkham. So you can see I've got my Prima format. That's the Arkham City. I'm going to put Joker here. Now I got him, finally, and then Red Hood will go down there. So, anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful for anybody who's excited about this. You know, there's a lot to be excited for. It's a super cool piece. But anyway, till Joker gets here, thanks for watching. See you next time.